לבנים נקבצו עליי, אזי בימי חשמנים ופרצו חומות מגדליי ודימו כל השמנים. ומנותר קנקנים נעשמץ לשושנים, בני בינה ימי שמונה קבו שירו רננים, בני בינה ימי שמונה קבו שירו רננים. ועל התשובות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה. על הניסים ועל הקורבן ועל הגבולות ועל התשובות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה. על הניסים ועל הקורבן ועל הגבולות ועל התשובות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה. על הניסים ועל הפורקן ועל הגבולות ועל התשובות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה. בימים ההם בזמן הזה.
Two, hey. Two, hey, two. חג חנוכה שמח, אונטריו, קנדה. Народ святой собрался здесь, Хануки горят повсюду, счастливых лиц вокруг не счесть. Всевышний снова дарит на праздник это чудо, это чудо. И снова те же 8 дней мы празднуем свою победу. Но побороть надо поскорей, самих себя сделать чуву, прийти к ответу. И знай, освобождение навсегда. Небесный свет вырвался наружу. Евреи мы, и ты, и я. Машиах нам сегодня нужен. אז יאירו כל הנרות ויפתחו כל הלבבות לבית המקדש נערם במנורה תפיץ אור אלוקי לכל העולם, לכל העולם. יודעים освобождение навсегда. Небесный свет вырвался наружу. Евреи мы, и ты, и я. Машиах нам сегодня нужен. Освобождение навсегда. Небесный свет вырвался наружу, и время идти я. Машиах нам сегодня нужен. התורה יהיה לכל מפורסם בזאת החנוכה עכשיו ממש ביחד כל העולם. Jewish Russian Community Center of Ontario, Chag Sameach, Chanukah Sameach.
Testing. Chanukah Sameach. Shaslivi Chanukah. Happy Hanukkah. Tonight is the first night of Hanukkah, and we're happy to welcome you to the 32nd annual JRCC Menorah lighting. Obviously, we're standing here in a bit of a different style than usual. You can see very people here in the park, but we are doing it in the place that we do it every year while you watch from the comfort of your home. We have a special program that we are excited for you to join with us. As usual, we'll begin with reading the letter that the Rebbe wrote some years back for the public menorah lightings in the United States. A clear Hanukkah message that's relevant today to us here in Canada. The message telling us that in 2020, like in 1980, by lighting the menorah here, we bring a message of warmth, of goodness, and all that Hanukkah represents. And we want to bring this message to all of those watching across Ontario. I would like to invite Rabbi Levi Jacobson, director of the JRCC in West Thornhill, to read the Rebbe's letter.
By the grace of God, to all the participants in the public lighting of the Hanukkah menorah in the USA, greeting and blessing. Hanukkah, the festival of lights, recalls the victory more than 2,100 years ago of a militarily weak but spiritually strong Jewish people over the mighty forces of a ruthless enemy that had overrun the Holy Land and threatened to engulf the land and its people in darkness. The miraculous victory, culminating with the dedication of the sanctuary in Jerusalem and the rekindling of the menorah, which had been desecrated and extinguished by the enemy, has been celebrated annually ever since during these 8 days of Hanukkah, especially by lighting the Hanukkah menorah, also as a symbol and message of the triumph of freedom over oppression, of spirit over matter, and of light over darkness. It is a timely and reassuring message, for the forces of darkness are ever present. Moreover, the danger does not come exclusively from outside, it often lurks close to home, in the form of insidious erosion of time-honored values and principles that are at the foundation of any decent human society. Needless to say, darkness is not chased away by brooms and sticks, but by illumination. Our sages said, a little bit of light expels a lot of darkness. The Hanukkah lights remind us, in the most obvious way, that illumination begins at home, within oneself and one's family, by increasing and intensifying the light of Torah and mitzvahs in the everyday experience, even as the Hanukkah lights are kindled in growing numbers from day to day. But though it begins at home, it does not stop there. Such is the nature of light, that when one kindles a light for one's own benefit, it benefits also all who are in the vicinity. Indeed, The Hanukkah lights are expressly meant to illuminate the outside, symbolically alluding to the duty to bring light also to those who, for one reason or another, still walk in darkness. What is true of the individual is true of a nation, especially this great United States, united under one God and generously blessed by God with material as well as spiritual riches. It is surely the duty and privilege of this nation to promote all the forces of light, both at home and abroad, and in a steadily growing measure. Let us pray that this message of the Hanukkah lights will illuminate the everyday of everyone personally and of the society at large for a brighter life in every respect, both materially and spiritually. With esteem and blessing in the spirit of Hanukkah and the Rebbe's holy signature.
Thank you, Rabbi Jacobson. We're honored to have with us dignitaries from all levels of government, some of them here at the square, others joining us on a Zoom live so that they can share greetings with us. And we're going to be honored to hear from them right after we light the menorah. Before we light the menorah, I would like to call up the senior rabbi and founder of the JRCC, Rabbi Yosef Zaltzman, to share with us some inspiring words.
Веселого праздника Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah, Hanukkah Sameach. As we're standing at the first evening of Hanukkah, that we're lighting tonight here and all over the world, it's very special that we're standing here, especially when I remember in childhood, and not so many years ago in the former Soviet Union, when Hanukkah had to be lit in the house and make sure that the doors and windows are closed. We're standing here in the square on Young Street, Menorah Square, and it's being translated across Ontario. So it's very special that the message of Hanukkah now, each one of us, each member of the community, whoever hears it, will make sure when it comes home tonight to light this candle and tomorrow a second candle. But also the message, as we just heard from the Rebbe's letter, to take and understand that the light of our soul, the light of Torah, the light of Jewish tradition is something that could warm up and dispel darkness that could be in our way, in a way of peace, in a way of understanding, but at the same way to spread more and more goodness and light in all our lives and the lives in our community here and the lives of their community, the global community of the world there. And we're all waiting for very soon the coming of Mashiach, and we'll be able to celebrate lighting of the Menorah in the original place in the third holy temple in Jerusalem. Thank you and happy Hanukkah.
Okay, we are ready to light the menorah. As I mention every year, the menorah that we have here at Menorah Square is now an electric one, and therefore symbolizes bringing the story of Hanukkah, publicizing the miracle of Hanukkah out into the public domain, but it doesn't replace the lighting of the menorah in your home. The shamash, the serving candle, we will honor MP Gila to Are we ready? Yeah. There we go. Thank you.
Job well done. What's going on?
Guys, we didn't light the menorah yet. Okay. With the lighting of the menorah itself, we will ask Counselor for Ward 6, in the city of Toronto. Now, usually, when we make the blessings here at the square, we cannot make blessing with God's name because we're electric, and as such, we got a mic per person, but somehow, anyway. This year, we have something unique. We're going to be able to make the blessings with God's name because we have 3 JRCC rabbis that are waiting in their homes to light their menorah. They will make each one of the blessings. We will answer Amen, and then we will turn the menorah on here at the square. So we are going to have Rabbi Avram Weinstein of the JRCC of Concord make the first blessing. Rabbi Avram Yuzevich of the JRCC in Woodbridge will make the second blessing. And Rabbi Avram Zaltzman of the JRCC in Richmond Hill will make the third blessing. I don't know if you got the pattern. There are 3 Rabbi Avrahams. We will make those 3 blessings followed by lighting our candle here at Mel Lassman. Rabbi Weinstein, take it away.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzitzanu b'havdei Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sha'asam b'ma'aseinu v'yamim ha'em b'zman.
Amen.
Richmond Hill.
Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Amen. Okay, here we go. Chag Sameach. There we go. We are so happy to have all of you joining us. With Maoz Tzur, we will ask our hosting JRCC, the JRCC of Willowdale, Rabbi Yisrael Zaltzman. Go for it, we're waiting.
Maoz Tzur Yeshuati Lecha na'eh leshabeach Tikon beit tefilati V'sham toda nezabeach Lietachin matebeach Mitzar hamenabeach Az egmor b'shir mizmor Chanukah kamizbeach Az egmor b'shir mizmor Chanukah kamizbeach.
I believe everybody should make sure they're muted because
Well, they are singing together with Jews throughout the world. The song of Menorah. It's the same song being sung throughout the world. All the celebrations that we noticed before, from Moscow, Paris, London, Sydney, Melbourne, Australia, South Africa, Johannesburg, Cape Town, all of these places are singing together. Haneris Halola, which reads, "We kindle these lights to commemorate the saving acts, miracles, and wonders which you have performed for our forefathers in those days at this time through your holy Kohanim, priests. Throughout the 8 days of Hanukkah, these lights are sacred, and we are not permitted to make use of them, but only to look at them in order to offer thanks and praise to your great name for your miracles, for your salvation." So just listen, folks. Tend to just hear it. Participate. If you're home, join in the singing as well. Wherever you may be, join the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands throughout the world.
Welcome back to Menorah Square for the continuation of the program. As we promised you, we're going to bring greetings from many dignitaries. Up until Monday, we had a commitment that our premier would be here with us. Unfortunately, the Prime Minister decided to have a meeting with the premiers this afternoon, and that trumped our visit. However, we do have greetings from the premier to our community for Hanukkah. That will be our first greeting for today. Please listen to greetings from Premier Doug Ford.
On December the 10th, the Jewish community in Ontario and around the world light the menorah, beginning the 8-day celebration of the Festival of Light, or Hanukkah. Hanukkah reminds us that miracles can occur even in the darkest of times, and that message is more important than ever before. This holiday allows us to light up our lives by reflecting on life's blessings and by remembering the resilience of the Jewish people, both past and present. To all those celebrating, I hope you and your family stay safe and healthy. Happy Hanukkah, everyone.
Greetings. Would now like to share greetings from the Mayor of Toronto, Mayor John Tory.
Hello, Mayor John Tory here, and I want to wish all the members of our Jewish community in our great city a very happy Hanukkah. If ever there was a time to celebrate the goodness of light and the importance of rededication, if ever there was a time for us to truly believe the best is yet to come, it is now. And Hanukkah, both historically and today, shows us the way. It's a great historic holiday celebrated by many in our city from within a community which contributes every day in every possible way to the building of a strong, caring city. So please take care this Hanukkah. Celebrate within the public health guidelines that are in place. That too is about dedication to each other and to our health and well-being. Happy Hanukkah, Hag Sameach.
Thank you, Mayor Tory. Would now like to move to the mayor of the city above Toronto, Mayor Maurizio Bevilacqua, Mayor of the city of Vaughan.
Today at sunset, Jewish families in Vaughan and beyond will welcome the beginning of Hanukkah. Known as the Festival of Lights, Hanukkah is a story of faith and the triumph of good over evil. For 8 nights, the Jewish community will celebrate by lighting the candles of the Menorah. People will pray and share stories of hope as they commemorate the miracle of the Holy Temple in Jerusalem. While this year may be slightly different from those past, we must continue to connect virtually. Recognize the strength and enduring contributions Jewish Canadians have made and continue to make here in the city of Vaughan and around the world. I wish everyone celebrating a blessed and peaceful Hanukkah.
I would now like to introduce an MP, the MP for Thornhill, a beloved MP who's been with us for the last decade and a half, and has been with us, as you'll see in his message, through thick and thin, and whatever weather we were in, we'll hear from MP Honorable Peter Kent.
As the Member of Parliament for Thornhill, it's been a great pleasure and an honor over the years to participate with all the rabbis, Zaltzman, members of the JRCC community, and political colleagues from across the GTA in the lighting of the first Hanukkah candle. From the cherry picker way up Bathurst Street, lighting a natural gas menorah in a blizzard, to both deep freeze and balmy conditions in recent years at Mel Lastman Square. As we again, in the shadow of a pandemic and a surge in anti-Semitism, celebrate the enduring power of light over darkness, hope over despair, and good over evil, I salute the many contributions of Canada's Jewish communities and cherish again the strong ties between Canada and Israel. Hag Hanukkah Sameach.
Thank you, Peter, and we wish you well in your continued journey. Now I'd like to introduce the MP, Member of Parliament for Richmond Hill, Majid Johari, who is joining us live on Zoom.
Well, good evening, everyone. And let me start by wishing the Jewish community everywhere in the world, and especially in the York region and city of Richmond Hill, happy Hanukkah. It is my huge pleasure to be here with you this evening via Zoom to celebrate the lighting of the first candle and the beginning of the Hanukkah. Hanukkah is an opportunity to reflect on the life's blessing and honor the resilience of the Jewish people in the face of immense diversity. This resilience is most important during the year of 2020. Let that resilience reflect on us and be guidance for us of how we have managed and we continue to manage the COVID-19 crisis that's ahead of us. It's so good to hear the release of the first set of vaccines, which almost coincide with the first lighting of the first menorah light. I had the opportunity to visit the rabbi and during the summer, and I was the first-hand witness to the great work that the center is doing for the community. Even though the celebration this year is a bit different than the years before, but it's still wonderful to see the spirit and the engagement of the community. And as I said, the great news is that we have the approval of the Pfizer from Health Canada, and we're working on the distribution plan. I hope that we all spend some time with our loved ones in a very safe and controlled manner, eat a lot of food, enjoy each other's company. Wish that your heart be fulfilled with love and your home will be fulfilled with joy. Have a peaceful and happy Hanukkah. Thank you.
Thank you, MP Johari. We went through the premier and the mayors and the MPs. Before we go to our MPPs, members of the provincial parliament, we promised you tonight to have a menorah lighting with greetings from dignitaries and a concert. We are going to go all the way to Israel and hear another song from Shlomo.
הנרות הללו שאנו מדליקים, הנרות הללו שאנו מדליקים, על התשועות, מעל ניסים, מעל הישועות, ועל הנפלאות, שעשית לאבותינו, שעשית לאבותינו, מה ימים ההם, מה ימים ההם, בימים ההם, בזמן הזה. חג חנוכה שמח, קנדה. הנרות הללו שאנו מדליקים, הנרות הללו שאנו מדליקים, על התשועות, מעל ניסים, מעל הישועות, ועל הנפלאות, שעשית לאבותינו, שעשית לאבותינו, ימים ההם, מה ימים ההם, בימים ההם, בזמן הזה. שעשית לאבותינו, שעשית לאבותינו, בימים ההם, בימים ההם, בימים ההם, בזמן הזה.
Here we are. Not our battery. I guess it's in Israel. Hopefully by the next song, he'll have it back up. Okay. Would now like to introduce our hosting MPP, the MPP for Willowdale, Dan Cho.
Hi, everyone. Stan Cho, ITP from Willowdale. I'm so sorry I can't be at this menorah lighting. It's become an annual tradition I look forward to every year. I think a few years ago it was minus 20, and last year it was so warm out I was schwitzing. But this year is going to be different also, and I hope you celebrate safely, but also take a moment to appreciate the things we do have: a roof over our head, our loved ones, and hopefully you get to indulge in some really good food. I can't wait to see you all face to face next year. Hug Hanukkah Sameach.
Thank you, Stan. And we definitely look forward to having you with us next year. Hopefully not a blizzard and hopefully not schwitzing, just a nice good weather. Now I'd like to ask MPP for Thornhill, Gila Marto, to share with us some greetings.
This is just so wonderfully organized. I really kudos to all the organizers from JRCC and all the Rabbi Zaltzman, as Peter Kent said. I want to just say thank you, first of all, to Peter Kent. I've been working with him. It's almost 7 years since I was elected MPP for Thornhill, and we've been working together wonderfully, and I know I'm going to miss him, and I hope he's going to miss me just half as much as I'm going to miss him. Hanukkah is the Jewish holiday festival of lights. Most religions seem to have a holiday this time of year that they consider their holiday festival of lights. Hanukkah celebrates 200 BC, around 200 BC, when the Jewish Maccabees, Jewish soldiers, fought back against a Greek army that was much better equipped than them. They found just enough oil in the ruins of the temple in Jerusalem to light the menorah for 1 day. And the miracle was that 1 day's worth of oil lasted 8 days. So we celebrate for 8 days. And I want to say that this year, after all the years I've been coming to light the menorah here at Melasma Square, I'm going to have to say this is the best weather we've had yet. Not too hot, not too cold, not raining, not windy. It's just fabulous. So I wish all of you could be here celebrating with us. But again, it's very difficult. We know there's a limit to how many people we can have. So Chag Hanukkah Sameach, the Jewish Festival of Lights, Am Yisrael Chai. We look forward to celebrating many more celebrations with all of you soon.
Thank you, Gila. And we definitely look forward to many more years of celebrating here. We are happy that although in person you couldn't be here, you are all able to participate in this annual tradition of our public menorah lighting. I would now like to ask MPP Roman Baber to share with us his greetings.
Good evening, Rabbi Salzman, and good evening to
Roman,
all.
we can hear you. We could see an amazing menorah right in the back, and that's great. Go ahead.
I'm on mute. Hear me now?
Yes.
Wonderful. Chag Sameach and Shalom, Rabbi Salzman. And thank you so much for hosting us, albeit virtually. I was going to say, listening to Shlomo's song, that thankfully, just like in the temple, the battery lasts long enough for him to be able to complete his song. So I in that spirit, I'll continue with a remark that my predecessors, both Stan and Gila, opined on the weather earlier. And that goes back to the 2018 celebration of Hanukkah, when it was just outrageously cold. And since then, we referred to that event. And lo and behold, I could never imagine that I'd be celebrating Hanukkah with the JRCC and be as warm as I am right now, indoors in my condo in York Center. And so we have the JRCC, my own synagogue, to thank for that, for the remarkable service that you do to our community in bringing the joy of the holidays, but also throughout this pandemic, for the leadership and for the help you've given to myself, to many of our friends, to many of our constituents, to our congregation. Rabbi Zaltzman and Rabbi Mendel Zaltzman, I want to thank you sincerely on behalf of our community and behalf of the provincial government for the service and for the courage and for the kindness that you've shown during this pandemic. And with that, I'd like to wish the Jewish community of Ontario, York Center, and all around the world a very joyous, bright, and festive Hanukkah. We are undergoing a difficult time, and I wish you all the courage of the Maccabees and the strength of the Maccabees to help your loved ones to get through these challenging times. And as the Hanukkah and the menorah lights are shining bright, we can see the light at the end of the pandemic tunnel. And God willing, in a year from now, we'll celebrate at Mel Lassman Square, no matter the weather. Thank you very much and good evening.
Thank you, Roman. Looking forward to not just fist bumping, but actually shaking hands and hugging back together. We will now, as we finish with the provincial, sorry, we got one more. My mistake. We have the MPP for Richmond Hill, Daisy Y, who's here to share with us some greetings in honor of Hanukkah.
Good evening, everyone. This is Daisy Y from Richmond Hill. It is a pleasure to be here at the annual Catholic Public Menorah Lighting Ceremony on the first night of Hanukkah. I want to thank Rabbi Saltzman and the Jewish Russian Community Center of Ontario for hosting this meaningful event. I would like to say, despite the small amount of oil, the flames that we have tonight will not burn out at the end of the first night, but it will continue to burn continuously for 8 days and until the new pure oil arrives. And thank you very much for having this festivals of lights. And this is a time, a festival of spreading the light, kindness, and goodness in the world. By kindling menorah, each night of Hanukkah is emphasize the inner message of Hanukkah, triumph of freedom over oppression, of spirit over matter, and of light over darkness. Yes, we're going through a challenging time, but this light will light us through and keep us positive and give us the courage to go through this hard, challenging time. And I'd like to take this opportunity to wish all of you happy Hanukkah.
Before we move to our dignitaries on behalf of the City of Toronto and City of Vaughan, we are going to go back to Israel and find out if the miracle of Hanukkah worked, and he has an extreme fast charger, so that he's back with us. We'd like to ask Shlomo to sing for us another song.
Afrelich Hanukkah. לפעמים מרגישים שהחיים כל כך קשים, מה יהיה עוד יום, עוד שנה? אבל אני מחייך, לא דואג להמשך, כי יש לי אמונה. לפעמים מרגישים שהחיים כל כך קשים, מה יהיה עוד יום, עוד שנה? אבל אני מחייך, לא דואג להמשך, כי יש לי אמונה. אני מאמין בניסים, אני יודע שיש אלוקים, והוא בורא עולם, הכוח של כולם, שומע את קולי. אני מאמין בניסים, אני יודע שיש אלוקים, והוא בורא עולם, הכוח של כולם, ישלח לי את הנס, ישלח לי את הנס שלי. תן חיוך בן אדם, יש ניסים כל הזמן, לא לבכות, הכל לטובה. אסור לך להתייאש, רק תמשיך לבקש, לשמור את התקווה. תן חיוך בן אדם, יש ניסים כל הזמן, לא לבכות, הכל לטובה. אסור לך להתייאש, רק תמשיך לבקש, לשמור את התקווה. Everybody! אני מאמין יש אלוקים והוא בורא עולם, הכוח של כולם שומע את קולי. אני מאמין בניסים, אני יודע שיש אלוקים והוא בורא עולם, הכוח של כולם ישלח לי את הנס, ישלח לי את הנס שלי. אני מאמין בניסים, אני יודע שיש אלוקים והוא בורא עולם, הכוח של כולם שומע את קולי, קולי. אני מאמין בניסים, אני יודע שיש אלוקים והוא בורא עולם, הכוח של כולם ישלח לי את הנס, ישלח לי את הנס שלי. Afrelike Chanukah, Ontario! Праздник света! Праздник чудес! אני מאמין.
Thank you, Shlomo. Happy Hanukkah. I would like to ask Councillor James Pasternak, Councillor of Ward 6, City of Toronto, who's been with us, what is it, since 2005? Did I pick the right year? You started as the trustee for the, there we go, 2006. Okay, a year off as a trustee, and with us here every year through cold and hot, as they say, not thick and thin, right? Councillor Pasternak, please.
Great. Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Gila. It's great to see you. Rabbi Zaltzman, Rabbi Mendel Zaltzman. Thank you very much on behalf of the Mayor John Tory and my colleagues at City Council. It's both an honor and a pleasure to bring good wishes and safe celebrations on the Jewish holiday of Hanukkah. And this has not been an easy time for our city, for our province, for our country. And yet with the celebration of Hanukkah, taking part in many customs that surround it, we bring fresh hope in an uncertain world. During the holiday season, Jewish communities around the world light the Hanukkah candles. We do so in windswept plazas, in warm living rooms and kitchens. And yet it is more than the lighting of a flame. It is the telling story of faith, of freedom, of survival, and celebration. We in the Jewish community have a lot of holidays. And most of them are insular, like Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah, Shavuos, Simchat Torah. And yet with Hanukkah, we celebrate very publicly in our public spaces. It is so because we recognize that the story we tell and the themes we discuss are in fact universal ones, adhering to one's faith, freedom versus tyranny, and how we celebrate how blessed and lucky we are to be at this place and time. Over the years, I've participated in many menorah lightings at or near democratic institutions. North York Civic Center, like here, at the Parliament buildings in Ottawa, and of course at Toronto City Hall. These institutions, where many of the laws and decisions shaping this country and city have been made, bear the responsibility of making laws, protecting rights and freedoms, and ensuring that peace in our community is a universal value. Moreover, it is our custom and obligation to put the menorah in a window or a doorway, sending a message of hope and faith on every doorpost, and it complements the mezuzah as a spiritual armor to protect our homes and our family. A couple of years ago, I celebrated Hanukkah in Israel. And with my wife, Lynn, I walked around the streets of Beth Shemesh, and in hundreds of windows flickered the lights of the menorah. I can tell you what it does to the inside of a person when you see the lights shining out. To all of you, I wish the days of Hanukkah are joyous ones, that when you gather among friends and family and place the menorah in the windowsill, we do so with the recognition of how fortunate we are here in Canada, in Toronto, to live by the truths that we seek and the values that we cherish. Hanukkah Sameach.
Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Pasternak. Would now like to ask Councillor Shelley Carroll to join us. I think it's on Zoom, to share her greetings with us.
Thank you, Rabbi, and good evening, everyone. Well, here we are. We didn't think this was possible, and yet here we are, all able to celebrate together. It gives me great pleasure to be with you, and perhaps the warmest ever. It's often a very cold endeavor for all of us to gather around the menorah at Mel Lastman Square, and that's a challenge both in the audience and up on the dais. And so to be able to reach into your homes as you light your own menorah in your own homes is really a privilege. In my own home, of course, as you know, I don't practice the Jewish faith. And so in my own home, there is a Christmas tree. But North York is a special place. And I see it as a place of love and inclusiveness. And so over the years, as children come along, or grandchildren, a little menorah found its way onto my tree. A little dreidel found its way onto my tree. Every year, sitting on the vanity near the tree is our very special bejeweled dreidel. And that is so much because of North York and what it means to all of us, that we celebrate each other. And so tonight, I don't want to take too much of your time. So many special people are here to greet you, but I do want to wish you all a happy Hanukkah, Hanukkah Sameach, and to wish for you when you're placing your wishes with your lights. For me, I'm hoping for the lights of peace and of wellness. We really, really rely on all of you to make sure that our whole community, and indeed the whole world, our global family, will all be well, so that next year we will be back bundled in our parkas, lighting that menorah together. So I wish for peace and wellness, and to see you all in person again in 2021. All the best.
Thank you, and Chanukah Sameach. We got a glimpse of our next speaker there, Alan Sheffman. I would like to ask Alan Sheffman, Councillor of Ward 5, City of Vaughan, who's been at our lighting also, as Peter said, whether it was in front of our office on Bathurst or at Giros Lord Park at the Matty Baranovsky Menorah, and for many years here at Mel Lastman Square. Alan, we'll ask you to share a few words.
Thank you, Rabbi, and thank you for the opportunity to give a short greeting this evening on the lighting of the first candle celebrating Hanukkah. Of course, I would have much rather have been with you with a great crowd in Mel Lastman Square, but just not possible today with the events that we are all involved in. But hopefully next year I will be back, and we all will be back to celebrate together. You know, today as we celebrate this lighting of the first candle of Hanukkah, and we get the first glimmer of light that comes from the menorah, we also see the light at the end of the tunnel of the terrible disease that we have been all fighting for the past 9 or 10 months. As today, ironically, the announcement was made that the first vaccines to be given in our country, in Canada, are going to take place early next week. To me, that is part of the symbolism of Hanukkah, where the light begins to shine for us all as we begin the final battle to overcome this disease. So I wish you in this year good health, safety, and a happy, joyous Hanukkah as we all celebrate another year. Thank you very much. And I want to also wish a happy Hanukkah to all the residents of the city of Vaughan. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alan. Before we continue, after hearing of all of these dignitaries from all levels of government, before we continue with the last few parts of the program, we would like to go back to Israel and hear another song, another composition by Shlomo.
עם ישראל נגאלים לא מתוך הצער ולא מתוך השיבוט ולא מתוך הטלטול, לא מתוך הטירוף ולא מתוך הדחק ולא מתוך שאין להם מזונות. עם ישראל נגאלים לא מתוך הצער ולא מתוך השיבוט ולא מתוך הטלטול, לא מתוך הטירוף ולא מתוך הדחק ולא מתוך שאין להם מזונות, אלא מתוך 10 בני אדם שהם יושבים זה עם זה וכל אחד מהם קורא ושונה עם חברו, בקולם נשמע 10 בני אדם שהם יושבים זה עם זה וכל אחד מהם קורא ושונה עם חברו, בקולם נשמע. חג שמח. עם ישראל נגאלים לא מתוך הצער ולא מתוך השיבוט ולא מתוך הטלטול ולא מתוך הטירוף ולא מתוך הדחק ולא מתוך שאין להם מזונות, אלא מתוך 10 בני אדם שהם יושבים זה עם זה וכל אחד מהם קורא ושונה עם חברו, בקולם נשמע 10 בני אדם שהם יושבים זה עם זה וכל אחד מהם קורא ושונה עם חברו, אלא מתוך 10 בני אדם. Come on, yeah! אלא מתוך 10 בני אדם שהם יושבים זה עם זה וכל אחד מהם קורא ושונה עם חברו, בקולם נשמע 10 בני אדם שהם יושבים זה עם זה וכל אחד מהם קורא ושונה עם חברו, בקולם נשמע, בקולם נשמע, בקולם נשמע.
Thank you, Shlomo. I would now like to introduce Rabbi Shmuel Neft, the rabbi of the JRCC at Rockford, to share with us a few words in Russian.
Хаг Самеях, с праздником Ханука. Праздник Ханука мы празднуем не только чудеса, которые случились в храме, а большая победа. Что за победа? Конечно, это была военная победа, но война была намного глубже, чем только война. Были много народов в истории, которые хотели уничтожить еврейский народ. Мы знаем немцы хотели убивать, и в Вавилоне и так далее. В остальном хотели убивать еврейское тело. В этой войне хотели убивать еврейская душа. Что я имею в виду? Сказали евреям, что они могут быть евреями. Ну, культурно. Только типа для формальности быть евреем. Но внутри другая цивилизация. Это самая плохая война. Когда пытаются разделять еврея от своих корней, еврея от своей искры, тот душа, который делает еврея евреем. Поэтому сегодня и следующие 8 дней мы празднуем вместе победа души. И эта связь с Всевышним, с нашей корней, который всегда будет, несмотря на ничего. Лыхаим всем с праздником Ханука.
Thank you, Rabbi Neft. I would now like to turn to the last of the JRCC rabbis who didn't have a chance in the program yet tonight, Rabbi Levi Blau of the JRCC of South Thornhill, to share with us a few words about the importance of each of us lighting the menorah in our homes.
Happy Hanukkah, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. What a beautiful program it was. But this was just the kickoff of 8 days of celebration. Normally, the 8 days are highlighted by various celebrations. We celebrate in different places. But this year, especially as we all celebrate at home, and we look to make each night unique. So it's important to focus on the actual mitzvah, which is specifically in the home, can't be done anywhere else, which is the lighting of the candle at home, and each night increasing in the amount of light. So although every night we may be at home, we are still doing something special, something extra each and every night. And the fact that tonight we start with lighting only one candle, which actually is quite a wonder, being that we are meant to light 8 candles. So why on the first night do we start just with one? But the message is important, that as we seek to bring light into the world, and the world today certainly needs a lot of light, we have to start with small steps, one step at a time, ever increasing the light until we bring the world to maximum illumination of the 8 lights. And interestingly, the Kabbalah points out that as we light each of the 8 nights, accumulatively, 1, then 2, then 3, we have a total of 36 lights over the 8 days of Hanukkah. And 36, as we all know, is 2 times Chai. And perhaps the meaning of 2 times Chai can be said, Chai means to live. And in this time, especially in Corona, we all have to be focused on the number 1 mandate, which is to live and to make sure that others live, to be healthy. But 1 time life is not enough. We need 2 times Chai. We need 2 times life. We have to fill that life with true vitality, with true living, with true meaning. And what better way to do that than to bring light into our homes, and perhaps even call up a friend and see that they are also increasing in their light. And that is the way we fill our life with true life. And we have 2 times Chai, 36 candles in all. Wishing you a Chag Sameach and great success in lighting those 36 candles. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rabbi Blau. Standing here at this special menorah lighting, I would now like to tell you about a new program that we launched this year that is beginning tonight. It's called iLight. It's a program that is made to get all of you, to encourage you to light your menorah and share it with others. This is called iLight, and I would ask you to pay attention to the screen to the details of this program. Okay, I hope each one of you will go to ilight2020.org, and you will join us in this program. We're going to finish with this, our official program for tonight. I want to thank all of you for joining us, whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube or any other way that you've managed to be a part of this program. We're happy that we found a way to bring it to you. We wish you a happy Hanukkah, and we will conclude with going back all the way to the Holy Land with some more songs from Shlomo. Thank you very much.
חג שמח, דרגי друзья. הודו לו, ברוך שמו, כי טוב השם, כי טוב השם. הודו לו, ברוך שמו, כי טוב השם, כי טוב השם. שירו לו, זמרו לו, כי טוב השם, כי טוב השם. שירו לו, זמרו לו, כי טוב השם, כי טוב השם. ישתבח שמך לעד, השם אחד, השם אחד, שמו אחד. מדי שלך ועינות בלבדך, מלך המלכים. ישתבח שמך לעד, השם אחד, השם אחד, ושמו אחד. מדי שלך ואלון מלבדך, מלך המלכים. או, 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 ברוך שמו, כי טוב השם, כי טוב השם. הודו לו, ברוך שמו, כי טוב השם, כי טוב השם. שירו לו, זמרו לו, כי טוב השם, כי טוב השם. שירו לו, זמרו לו, כי טוב השם, כי טוב השם. ישתבח שמך לעד, השם אחד, השם אחד, ושמו אחד. מדי שלך ולא בלבדך, מלך המלכים. ישתבח שמך לעד, השם אחד, השם אחד, שמו אחד. מדי שלך ולא בלבדך, מלך המלכים. Say this, say, oh, oh, everybody. Oh, 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 he showed us. Oh, oh, one more time. Oh, 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 yeah, 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 yeah. ישתבח שמך לעד, השם אחד, השם אחד, ושמו אחד. מדי שלך ולא בלבדך, מלך המלכים. ישתבח שמך לעד, השם אחד, השם אחד, ושמו אחד. מדי שלך ולא בלבדך, מלך המלכים. כל עם ישראל ביחד. חג שמח друзья, הפרדך חנוכה. ויהי ויהי בישור מלך בית הספר שעם. ויהי ויהי בישור מלך בית הספר שעם. כולנו יחד, יחד שבטי ישראל, אחדות בעם ישראל, בגולה אחת, יחד שבטי ישראל, עכשיו אחדות בעם ישראל. יחד כל ישראל, יחד נעבור ישראל יחד, נבוא ביחד בשיר והלל, נרקוד ביחד, כולנו יחד, אז יבוא מלך המשיח. ויהי ויהי בישור מלך בית הסבר שעם, ויהי ויהי בישור מלך בית הסבר שעם, כולנו יחד, יחד שבטי ישראל, אחדות בעם ישראל, באגודה אחת, יחד שבטי ישראל, עכשיו אחדות בעם ישראל. Come on, יחד כל ישראל יחד, נבוא ביחד בשיר והלל, נרקוד ביחד, כולנו יחד, אז יבוא מלך המשיח. יחד כל ישראל יחד, נבוא ביחד בשיר והלל, נרקוד ביחד, כולנו יחד, אז יבוא מלך המשיח. עם ישראל חי. יחד כל ישראל יחד, נמשיך ביחד בשיר והלל, נרקוד ביחד, כולנו יחד, אז יבוא מלך המשיח. יחד כל ישראל יחד, נבוא ביחד בשיר והלל, נרקוד ביחד, כולנו יחד, אז יבוא מלך המשיח. С праздником Хануки, друзья! Дорогие друзья, с праздником Хануки, света, любви, здоровья и всего самого лучшего. All the best. לפעמים נדמה שאין תקווה והכל נראה כל כך אפל ולא ידוע, הפרחים עוד לא פרחו בגן ובשדה, ובערב רק מכה הרוח. אז בואו ונדליק ביחד נר, נר. Light a candle, light a candle with me. 1,000 candles in the dark will open our hearts. Light a candle, light a candle with me. 1,000 candles in the dark will open our hearts. לפעמים נראה שהמחר לא יביא כל נחמה לבכי ולצער, והלילה הארוך נמשך בלי הבטחה, והאפלה חדה קטן. אז בואו ונדליק ביחד נר, נר. Light a candle, light a candle with me. 1,000 candles in the dark will open our hearts. Light a candle, light a candle with me. 1,000 candles in the dark will open our hearts. Light all the candles, let's light the candles everywhere. Just look at me and take my hand. The heat of love will glow again. Oh, light the candle, light a candle with me. 1,000 candles in the dark will open our hearts. Light a candle, light a candle with me. 1,000 candles in the dark will open our hearts. Light a candle. חג שמח דרוסיה, חג חנוכה שמח.
Yes, the antenna is coming out of the back of this to this, not to here. This is because the antenna is nowhere.